And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. And today, once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. Anthony, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Brian. Thanks for that lovely intro, dude. Beautiful day. Sun is rising on this morning. Nice, cool fall morning, Brian. I don't know if you felt it in the air, but obviously a very exciting night last night for New York baseball, and I'm sure you can't wait to get into it because I can't wait to get into it, and I'm just super pumped.
Could not be more excited. I mean, what a night, and especially coming off the weekend that we had with the Giants and the Jets for football. And here we go with two outstanding baseball games last night. And before we get to that, I believe we have one comment from the one, the only, Prefer.
He's saying, "What's up, guys? Congrats to Judge."
Very, very humble out of Prefer this morning. Bright and early. You know, maybe he hasn't had a couple cups of coffee yet, like Dan Campbell, you know?
Oh, God.
But let's go, Tony, to the world of Major League Baseball.
2-2, he got him swinging. The back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
There's damage right there. Shohei, way, Cy-Yo, not a where did that land?
Smoke to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires. Out at first. There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
All right, Tony. What a game last night from the Bronx. End of the day, 9-8 Yankees, and there's plenty to fill you in on how we got there. So we had Nestor Cortez starting versus a pitcher for the Pirates that actually, before this game, I hadn't heard of, Luis Ortiz, 23 years old, from the Dominican Republic. And actually, you know, especially from the start of this game, was pitching pretty well. And I think, you know, some of that had to do with, you know, the Yankee hitters not familiar at all with him. But we didn't get any scoring till the fourth inning. So Ortiz and Cortez, you know, Nestor, who got the start here, you know, getting the job done. But Nestor runs into some trouble in the fourth, loads the bases. Luckily, the Pirates only walk away with one run on a sacrifice fly. But the Yankees answer back, bottom of the fifth. Harrison Bader making his long-awaited Yankee debut with a single to left, scoring Oswaldo Cabrera, tying the game at 1. And then Luis Trevino singles home Bader to make it 2-1 in favor of the Yankees. Cortez, you know, after running into some trouble here, pulled after 5 innings. So you look at his line: 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. No decision in this one. They go to Marinaccio. He lets up a double to delay, which scored O'Neill, Cruz, and Sawinski to make it 3-2. But Harrison Bader answering back again in the bottom of the 6th with a single, scoring Josh Donaldson and Oswaldo Cabrera to make it 4-3. But unfortunately, you know, come the 7th inning, Lou Trevino, who had been lights out for a stretch here for the Yankees, allows a home run to Brian Reynolds, a guy that they had tried to acquire earlier this season, to tie the game at 4. And then in the 8th inning, they go to Loaizaga. He gets into trouble, you know, allowing an infield single, which scored delay to make it 5-4 in favor of the Pirates. So in comes Clay Holmes, and something's up here with Clay Holmes. He can just not figure it out the second half of this season. He actually gives up a 3-run homer to Rodolfo Castro to make it 8-4. Going to the bottom of the 8th, the Yankees don't do anything on the bottom of the 8th. come the top of the ninth, Aroldis Chapman with his second appearance.
Interesting.
Off the injured list, and he gives them a scoreless ninth, which at the time it seemed like, oh, great for you, Chapman. I mean, a scoreless ninth in a meaningless game. There's no way we're going to win this, but not so fast, Tony. And this is where all the excitement came from here. So leading off the top of the or the bottom, excuse me, of the ninth inning, Aaron Judge, 3-1 count, homer to left, 430 feet, bringing the Yankee Stadium crowd to their feet as he ties George Herman, Babe Ruth, for second all time in Yankee history, for a single season, and second all time in the American League as well. So that made it 8-5.
And Mike is pumped about it. Let's go. He says, Judge, baby, going for Bonds.
Right on, Michael, as usual. So after that, Anthony Rizzo doubles, Gleyber Torres walks, Josh Donaldson singles, and then up come to the plate, Giancarlo Stanton, who, I mean, talk about minced meat since he came off the injured list, has done absolutely nothing, striking out left and right, average down to 210. And he actually had struck out 3 times. So actually his previous 3 plate appearances, gets a 3-1 changeup, an absolute bullet, Tony, to left field, a walk-off grand slam. The Yankees win. The Yankees win 9-8, and just Yankees win. What a night in the Bronx, especially, you know, you're watching this game.
It was just crazy.
Just such a terrible feeling going into the bottom of that 9th inning, and it just to rally like this. I mean, this was just really could be a season changer, and there's just a lot to like from this game.
Wow.
Other than the ineptitude of the bullpen. Harrison Bader really, you know, feeling the impact of him making his debut. So I think, you know, he's going to be a lightning rod for them. And then, you know, maybe this will propel Stanton because we need him. I know that's his 27th home run. He was an all-star this year, but has been terrible in the second half. And if you could just plug a healthy Stanton in next to Judge in that lineup with Rizzo healthy, with Gleyber going, I mean, it's a pretty deep lineup. And then you think about what Harrison Bader brings to the table. So all in all, disaster averted here. The Yankees win this game. Judge makes history. Stanton gets the proverbial monkey off his back. So just a lot to like from this one. I mean, what a game.
Yeah, what a game. Are you at all concerned a little bit about pitching?
Well, like I said, the starting pitching is fine. The bullpen, you know, it's tough to really say, you know, what they're going to do here, because I had been, you know, clamoring for Loaizaga to get the save opportunity. Obviously, doesn't do well in his appearance last night. Marinaccio has been great, but he didn't do, you know, well last night either. And I think despite all of that, you know, we just can't have Chapman in the 9th. And I know he did his job last night, but
what do you want?
you know, I want to look this up. If he's coming back healthy, I would love to get, because he had got us a big save at Fenway earlier in the year. Scott Efros would be great. I'm just trying to see if we have any updates here.
Michael needed this.
I need it more than anything
from Stanton. He said
he knows it because Stanton's important. He's a primetime performer. Let's see. So Efros pitching in AAA. So 2 days ago. So I'd imagine a return within the next couple of days. So you know, get him comfortable. He might be right for that 9th inning. And I think for the rest of the season, just so we can get him somewhat comfortable, let's have Clay pitch the 6th and 7th inning. You know, no more 9th inning for him. And then I think, you know, Loaizaga and Marinaccio will get their chances. No Wandy. We don't need Wandy in the 9th.
And no Chapman.
No Chapman. So we're going Efros. And then, you know, we're going to go Marinaccio and Loaizaga. Just piece it together. May the best man win. And Michael with another comment.
What does it say, Brian?
Mariano Rivera, number 42. Apparently he's coming out of retirement for the playoffs.
No way, dude.
The funny part is, and it sounds so ridiculous, because Mariano Rivera, I mean, at this point, I think is 1967, Tony. So what's that? 33-55? Which
Sounds
is
about right.
It seems too old, though, right? It doesn't seem like he's that old.
4 more years, 55. Yeah, no, it doesn't seem like he's that old at all. 55 is fucking old.
But he
dude.
retired
that's
when he was
correct.
40.
Yeah.
52. Okay, so he's
52.
69, not 67. But anyway,
69, nice.
the crazy part about this is, and I know it sounds silly, and it's just one of those things. Come on, he's 52 years old. I really think out of anybody they have in the bullpen right now, he would probably do the best, even though he hasn't pitched since 2013.
That's pretty crazy, dude.
You don't think so, honestly?
Better than the rest of your bullpen, though? Like, if he came in.
Kind of, yeah. He knows how to get hitters out. It's just like, you're telling
know,
me he
man.
still can't throw a cutter?
No, I'm sure he can.
But is it 80 miles an hour?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And then Buffer says
Chapman, no blown saves, 9 out of 9 his last 9 saves, I guess, right?
Yeah, 9 out of no, 9 out of 9. That's it, because he's just been injured all year or ineffective. Clay Holmes has like over 20 saves.
Wow.
So yeah, that's the thing. Let's get that sorted out.
He only had 9 save opportunities this whole season.
Yeah. Well, because you think about it, Holmes taking 20 of them, and then some of the other guys have got a couple. So that being said, I really can't wait for Efros back. I haven't seen anything too. Miguel Castro might be coming back, and obviously I don't want him closing, but I think he can be a piece in the bullpen.
Oh, certainly.
I just want to see if we have an update here 1 week ago. But anyway, so with that win, magic number now at 10. Unfortunately, the Phillies, Tony, got shellacked
by the Blue Jays.
18
to like 11. They scored 11.
18 to 11. So that's absolutely ridiculous.
Oh my God. Whoever was cutting that highlight must have been pulling his hair out, dude.
Yeah. So but we'll take it in another game against the Pirates tonight. Pumped to be there. So, like we said, it's been a while for a Barnes takeover.
Baby.
And I was thinking about it. So this will be my 9th game at the stadium, 10th overall, the one in Boston. At home this year, 6-2. So looking for that 7th victory. And I hope to see history. I hope to see at least Judge Ty Maris. That would be something. And
that'd be cool.
It is the Pirates here. So, he might have an opportunity to hit 2, which would be remarkable after last night. Time will tell, Tony. But all in all, just good feels all around the Bronx as they pick up their 89th win and inch a little bit closer to clinching that American League East Division for only the 2nd time since 2012. So really looking forward to that and looking forward to October.
Oh, wow.
And I know there is a team in Flushing that is looking forward to October as well.
That is correct, Brian. Looking very much forward to doing some damage in October specifically. So obviously, we know the Mets are playing the Brewers here. Carrasco on the mound against Ashby. And Ashby started out pretty nice, honestly. His first inning was good. McCutcheon, even Carrasco in the first inning didn't look terrible. I think he was struggling with a little bit of location, getting warmed up. Nothing we haven't seen from him to kind of then settle it down. But unfortunately, Carrasco never settled down because the second inning comes up and he gives up a hit to Colton Wong, I believe. And then McCutcheon doubles to bring Juan in, gives up a run. And Narvaez also, I think, singles to bring in McCutcheon. And then Willie Adames singles to bring in Narvaez. And all of a sudden, you get Carrasco just kind of giving up hits a little bit left and right here in the second inning, giving up 3 earned runs. I think he, walked a couple in the third, or walked 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth. His line ended up ending with just pretty short 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and only 4 Ks. Pitch count by that 4th inning was at 90 pitches. So he was struggling from the beginning, and post-game conference he alluded, or didn't really allude to. He just said that he was fatigued from his last outing, which was great. I think his last outing was like 7 innings. The 11 Ks, I think he threw, like 108 pitches, something like that. And that's what he said. He said, last outing, 108 pitches. I was kind of fatigued from there. And he had trouble locating his changeup, which was so very effective in his last outing. And you take away his changeup. He went to his fastball a little bit too much, and his fastball is kind of hittable. Especially, the Brewers, although obviously, not the greatest team here, but they have some talented hitters for sure. There's Rowdy Tellez right there, looking like Daniel Vogelbach. But nonetheless, just Carrasco just did not have it, which was totally fine. But just like just like the Yankees when Chapman had a good inning, you're thinking, oh, the bullpen's gonna do well, but we gave up 3 runs already. We'll probably give up a couple more. Will we score enough? And Trevor Williams comes in for an inning and a third, gives up 1 run, looked okay. Joey came in after that for another inning. I mean, he didn't have any strikeouts, but didn't give up any hits, didn't give up any runs. And in terms of Joey Rodriguez, that is great. Trevor May came in for 2 outs. He got 2 Ks. He was looking pretty good. 18 pitches, 10 of them were strikes. He was actually looking really good out of the bullpen. But at that point, Ottavino came in for May just because of the matchup. And then Ottavino ended up giving up 1 run. And, Buck bringing in Ottavino was kind of tough just because, I say this all the time. Ottavino using him back-to-back, he's just not nearly as effective. And last night he did great. 2 nights ago, 2 innings, no earned runs. I think maybe give up 2 hits or something like that. He comes in tonight, the back-to-back, gives up 2 hits pretty immediately, gives up 1 earned run. So you're a little worried at this point because basically it's 4-0 Brewers. And then in comes the 6th inning, Pete Alonso. I believe Lindor kind of got walked. Lindor had a single. They were on runners in first and second. Didn't matter though because Alonso hit a bomb 425 feet. Absolutely exactly what he needed to do to put the Mets on the board and in the game. Entirely. So at that point, instead of you're down 4-0, it's only 4-3, a 1-run game. And then, after that was when I think Ottavino pitched. And then the next inning, I forget who was pitching for the Brewers. It must have been Rogers. Yeah, it was Rogers. He, I think, walked the bases loaded, or he gave up 1 hit and then walked the next 2 batters. So you have bases loaded. Kind of strikes out after that. So it's bases loaded, 1 out. Obviously, Kana had a really bad at bat. So you weren't feeling great. So you're thinking, all right, Kana had a bad at bat. Lindor's coming up here. It's possibly grounds out into a double play. But instead, first pitch fastball, he was absolutely sitting on it, expecting to see that fastball, high fastball, takes it yard, the grand slam. They win. So they're up at that point, 7-4. And then Ottavino comes in, gives up the run. Diaz comes in for the 1 out in the 8th, and then gets 3 outs in the 9th. Absolutely kills it. He was on fire. I want to see just how many strikeouts he had. He had 3. I believe he got the 1 in the 8th, and then he got 2 in the 9th. So talk about someone coming out of retirement to be looking pretty good for the Yankees. I mean, Diaz has just been so lights out. I suppose you could say a couple weeks ago he was giving up some hits. He wasn't unhittable, but now he's back to being unhittable. He has that confidence. It's unbelievable. And I mean, a game like this to come back, just like the Yankees did, and then, in dramatic fashion, just like the Yankees did, with your top 2 guys you expect to be producing, which is, Alonso and Lindor. And obviously you got to tip your hats off to guys, who are getting on base that allowed, Alonso to make a 3-run home run, that allowed Lindor to hit the grand slam. Alonso, I think, has what does he have, like 112 RBIs?
I thought it was 120. I thought I heard career high. Yeah, and he said, "Oh, that's pretty cool."
I was gonna say, I think because the record that Piazza and David Wright hold is 121, I think, for the Mets.
Oh, okay.
For most, RBIs in a season for a Met. So if that's the case, if he has 120, that would mean he's 1 away from the record, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. RBIs, where are we? Oh, yeah, 120. Oh, he's at 121. So maybe the record's 122. But regardless, record for most RBIs in Mike Piazza, 124 is the record. 124 is the 24. That is the proverbial magic number, as Brian likes to reference so much recently. But yeah, absolutely, phenomenal effort from the Mets. I mean, you think about the naysayers out there, and Buck Showalter was taking receipts this whole time, because now it seems like they're back to those, the what the Mets been pretty much all season, getting those gritty wins, down and out, finding a way to kind of get back into the game, and then grinding out a couple of extra scores here and there on the bases, and getting the dub, and then of course relying on Diaz to close out the game like you should be. And I mean, it's just literally like the Mets have been doing all season. And it seems like they're getting back on this roll here after what looked like a pretty tough time starting September. So, you just absolutely love to see it, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I think, definitely huge here, especially with the Braves winning, because the Dave and Rick were talking about this morning. It doesn't mean that the Braves are going to let up, but they were just saying the fact that because they're coming off a World Series championship, I think there's a little more confidence there. So the division doesn't matter as much to them as it does to the Mets. That's what they were saying. But I don't know if you heard this. Steven Strider, not going to make his next start, little oblique tightness.
That's such a shame, dude.
How is it always oblique tightness with everybody, though? Everybody's tight.
Yeah, I guess so, dude. I mean, think about it. I mean, have you ever tried to stretch your oblique? That's kind of tough. Very finicky.
We were talking about this yesterday.
You don't
Stretching?
stretch. Yeah, you don't stretch, dude.
Me and stretching not synonymous, Tony.
Oh God, dude. But yeah, I mean, come on, and plus Strider is a total chief. So,
I think Prefer has a comment.
Does he?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten a new comment from you.
Oh wow! Dude. Do I tell the future?
Braves. I really hope not. Braves got so lucky. The national pitcher got injured in the first inning last night. They almost lost last night, huh?
Yeah, 3-2.
Yeah, so pretty tight. I'm surprised. I mean, you would expect the Braves to be scoring more than 3 runs. I mean, against most, against the best pitchers in the league is what you're thinking. Oh, they're scoring 3 runs, but I mean, I guess good for them. And Patrick Corbin, I guess got hurt first inning. Only got 2 outs, 1 K, gave up a hit. But in reality, I mean, is Patrick Corbin it's not like he's going to be lights out, or anything. But yeah, I mean, you still expect the Braves to, I guess, win more decisively than that. Would have been nice to see them lose, I suppose, because the lead is still just at a game here.
But I mean, I think in a way, that actually, he's saying that they got injured, but I don't. Because he's saying because Corbin is so bad. Is that what he means? The national pitcher got injured in the first inning.
No, because you're saying the Braves got lucky.
But I feel like you know what I mean. I feel like that. Made
I feel like the
Nationals.
the Nationals got lucky in Corbin.
18 losses. I mean,
Jesus, dude.
Did you see? I know this doesn't have to do with what we're talking about, but I just happened to think about it. They were talking about it on both Rick and Dave and the morning show on the Fan. That a 20-year-old fan caught this Judge home run ball and just approached by Yankee brass right away.
Yeah.
And just got a couple signed balls, a picture, and a signed bat. And they were talking. I guess they talked to Darren Ravel before the show. The ball will go for somewhere between $50,000 and $250,000, and he thinks at the minimum, realistically, if he had to guess, he thinks $150,000. And they were just saying that he's going to regret that for the rest of his life.
Oh yeah, dude! What an idiot! Says he's a 20-year-old. You said
the 20-year-old there with the college buddies. Maybe he goes to Iona. Who knows?
Yeah, probably. I mean, most of those fans at Yankee Stadium. I mean, come on, dude.
But
they're not real fans. They're just there because it's cool. That kid doesn't even know where he is, probably, dude.
I mean, that's just that true.
I mean, obviously, 20-year-old knows nothing.
I mean, I was going to games at 20. I was going to games at 8. I was going to games at 6, Tony.
Yeah, but you know something. You're a fan, I'm saying. This kid was with the college buddies, probably got a ticket for free, thinks, oh, Yankee Stadium's cool. It's going to be a good night. Stupid ass. I mean, what a wasted opportunity. Am I wrong, Brian? What would you have done?
Yeah, that actually
$100,000. With the ball, $100,000.
It's so tough because the level of respect I have for a living legend like Aaron Judge. But
so you do for nothing?
No, I'm saying I probably would have to play hardball there. I mean, and the thing is, they still could have, he still could have negotiated with them. But why not say, I want season tickets next year.
I
Or
know.
something. You know what I mean? Like at
A
least
couple
like
signed balls and a bat. What an idiot,
no,
dude.
that's gonna be one that's gonna be tough.
Oh my god.
And I don't know
dude.
because I guess we didn't talk about this yesterday, but they had Brandon Steiner, who I guess started Steiner Sports, and now it's called Brandon Steiner Sports or whatever. But they've been a long time affiliate with the New York Yankees. So he was on the Michael Kay show yesterday,
Okay.
and he was saying the ball he's expecting to be somewhere around $2.5 million.
What?
That'll be worth. And he's hoping he has a couple guys that are at games this week trying to catch the ball for him. And that it is 62 is the valuable one. Even though but they did say like, oh, like, it might be a little hairy if he ends up with 65, 66, but initially you can get your hands on that. I mean, you just sell it right away. I mean, just get the thing out of there.
Yeah, true. That's ridiculous. Setting guys in there to try and catch the ball.
Yeah.
But first, says Judge will make 50 mil next year. Can a brother spare a dime? I could see, if Judge is a nice guy, he'd be like, hey, man, like, you got fucking fleeced for this ball.
I could see him though.
Here's $1 million.
I could see him setting up some type of event where like he spends some time with them, or get some, some like a box at the stadium.
I don't want to
like
spend
that.
time. I want money.
Oh, I know, Tony, but it's like at the same time, it's not Judge's fault that the kid's an idiot.
No, it's not.
And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, of course, like Judge is gonna want the ball. I mean,
right.
It's crazy that just the thing. He even said it on the post game. That's like just growing up to think that you'd be mentioning the likes with the Mick and the Babe and Roger Maris. So it really is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. And last night was just a special night, and I can't wait to be there tonight. I think we're going to see more history in the making, and I know Prefer knows it himself. But that being said, Tony, just time to update everybody on the pick segment. So last night, a little 2-2 for me, bringing me to 16, 14-1. You go 3-1 to go 17 up. I actually messed that up.
17 up,
14 down. So there we go.
Wow.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so looking at tonight, I believe it's a full slate. I haven't fully looked at it. I know we got some games early.
A lot of early games.
Yeah. But it is a full slate.
Right.
So we know the Mets 210 today in Milwaukee.
Dude.
Tawan Walker on the hill versus Adrian Hauser. So if you would tell Prefer and the boys how you're gonna make minced meat of Adrian Hauser.
Wow. Okay, so obviously, Tawan Walker still kind of a question mark for me personally. I'm sure for a lot of Mets fans in general. His last start against Pittsburgh, it was, he went 7 1/3, gave up, I think, 4 hits, something like that. He gave up, I think, 2 earned runs on like a 1-2 run homer, so really didn't make a lot of big mistakes. But nonetheless, Walker has been a little inconsistent. Before that start against Pittsburgh, it didn't really look that pretty for him. But nonetheless, I think against the Brewers, he could still do well. I would say his line would, I guess, be 6 innings, 3 earned runs. I would think that's like a good, it could be better, it could be worse, but I think that's a good thing to expect from him. 6 innings, 3 earned runs. Setting up the Mets for the victory, basically, because we're going to score more than 3 earned runs. And then with the bullpen coming in, we used a lot of bullpen guys yesterday, but so you would kind of hope to get a little more length out of Walker, but I guess we'll kind of see. I'll still keep it at 6 innings, 3 earned runs, but I do think that Wanda's going to continue his RBI streak. I think it's 8 game streak with an RBI. So give me that. Give me another dinger, honestly, from him, because he was saying it last night. Really hit his stride again. Now he's seen the ball really well at the plate. Which he loves, because even he admitted he was in a bit of a rut here, struggling. So I would say give me another dinger from him for 38, I believe that would make it.
Wow.
Yeah. So obviously a great season for Alonso like that. And then I guess I have a feeling Escobar is going to go yard too. He was hitting the ball pretty hard last night. I think he had a couple of flyouts by the warning track. So I guess give me Escobar. I think he's been flirting with the home run. Give me Mets. I say Mets take this one. I'll call it 5-3.
I just have a question: Is
Oh.
Prefer hitting the gentleman Jack this morning?
Pirates versus Yankees prediction. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse will destroy the Yanks empire. The Yanks offense will face famine of biblical proportions. The flood of booze will reign over the Bronx.
Gentleman Jack. I mean, prefer gentleman Jack. I mean, are you kidding me?
What
does that even mean?
It means that the Yankees are going to lose in not good fashion.
That is probably, you think about, I think, what is this, number 356 for us, 357?
Somewhere around there.
357. All these episodes, that right there is the most insane comment I have ever heard.
Oh, come on.
So congratulations to you for saying something
Prefer he
like
doesn't
that.
mean it.
I do. I mean, it's like we're talking about 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. This is the Yankees we're talking about. Preferred. This isn't some fairy tale. Anyway, we talk about the Yankees, and of course, I'll be there. Definitely going to give you guys as much footage as I can. Like I had said earlier, it's been a while since I've been at the stadium. Since that Mets game last month.
I need it more than anything right now.
And I'm just excited to see. I would imagine, Harrison Bader, making this debut last night. Imagine he'd be in the lineup again. Very good there. So that'll be very good. Very good first game. And then Luis Severino. I believe it's his first start since July in the majors. So really looking forward to that. And we know the Yankees with guys coming off injuries. I'm sure he'll only go like 4 innings. I was talking about it with a couple people that I'm going with to the game tonight. So I would imagine a combination of him and then Clark Schmidt, to give him a couple innings. And maybe, especially I do expect, I know last night it wasn't like this, but I do expect tonight to be the bloodbath. And I think with that being said, we can get Chapman in for the 9th, give him back-to-back appearances, get that confidence going back up. But I'm going to say, so Louis will go 4 scoreless, 8 strikeouts, really bringing the heat. And you think about on the other side of things here, Roansy Contreras for Pittsburgh. Like I had said yesterday, one of the up-and-coming pitchers in that organization, young pitcher, good stuff. So maybe the Yankees, might go 3-4 scoreless to start the game. But then 5th, 6th inning, I'm sure, the bullpen will be warming or in the game for the Pirates. And that's when we will see number 99, Aaron Judge, tying Roger Maris at 61 for that American League record, that Yankee record. So that'll be obviously a sight to see. And I think Giancarlo Stanton, after striking out in his first 3 plate appearances yesterday, the walk-off grand slam, I'm actually expecting 2 dingers tonight. Let's get Stanton going for the postseason. So that'd be number 28, 29. Then he would be 1 home run away from joining the 30 home run club. Obviously, Judge and Rizzo, the other people there. Glaber, give me Glaber with a homer. So I think the Yankees in this one, maybe Schmidt, he'll go 3 innings and maybe give up a run, but that's it. 10-1 Yankees over the Pirates tonight. And I cannot wait to be there, Tony, to witness history. Aaron Judge tying Roger Maris, a record that has stood since 1961. So history in the making. Can't wait to be there.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
All right, my next pick, I'm going to go with the Cards. Okay, the Cards last night. Oh, by the way, Bronx 718.
Let's go,
Bronx all day, baby.
You're going to be at the game, bud.
Thank you for tuning in from Twitch, it looks like. Will he be at the game? I don't know, man.
Wait, do we know Bronx?
These Yankee fans are kind of flaky. No, I have no idea who that guy is.
Are you sure that's not your burner?
That's definitely not my burner. It would not be called Bronx 718.
We know you're a closet Yankee fan.
Oh, my God. Anyway, dude, I'm going to go with the Cards. Okay, they dropped a 5-0 loss against the Padres last night. Adam Wainwright, a little bit of a
clunker.
Clunker, yeah. I guess, something that you don't see very often. But regardless, tonight, I think Miles Mikolas, on the mound
Mikolas
for the Cards. And Blake Snell on the mound for the Padres. And we know about Blake Snell. And, if you look at his last 3 starts, 2 of them, his numbers were pretty good. However, they were against the Diamondbacks. I think he went like 7 innings in one, giving up 2 earned runs, 6 innings in the other, 1 earned run. But in between those starts against the Diamondbacks, he had a start against the Dodgers in which he went 4 innings, giving up 5 earned runs, which tells me against tough lineups, he doesn't really do that well. And we've seen him have a lack of success all season, 7-9, a 3.85 ERA on the season. Not exactly, the Blake Snell I'm sure the Padres were used to seeing. And also, the Padres just as a whole, although, 82-66, I guess a respectable record. It's certainly nowhere near what the Padres were expected to be doing. They've had, controversies off the field as well as on the field. So I would say give me the Cards here in a, complete 180 here. I would say they win this game. I'm going to say Blake Snell gets shellacked. They win 6-2.
Wow. A 6-2 drubbing. All right. So number two here. A lot of different ways to go. But I'm going to say your old buddy, Zach Wheeler, will finally do New York a favor here. The Phillies at home coming off the drubbing yesterday against the Blue Jays. And Kevin Gausman, pitched very well for Toronto this year, 12-10, 3.45. But I just think the Phillies, let's face it, they got absolutely embarrassed last night. And I think they're out for blood tonight. I'm going to say JT Realmuto and Bryce Harper. And let's say Bryson Stout. He's been a little cold after a hot streak midseason. All 3 of them are going to homer. Gausman chased after 3 innings, giving up 6 earned. Phillies 8, Blue Jays 5. David Robertson, immaculate inning for the save in the 9th. As Toronto goes down, add that magic number 1 less to number 9, and then with the Yankee win tonight, number 8, as we inch closer and closer to that American League East title. I cannot wait.
Speaking of old buddies, I'm going to double down here with the Dodgers. Madison Bumgarner on the mound for the Diamondbacks against Dustin May, by the way, who I guess is,
he's back.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
And I guess they're going to have him starting. I feel like are the Dodgers, like, do they have an injured starting pitcher? Because I feel like they go for a bullpen starter like a lot.
Walker Buehler is out, and then I don't know. I guess Kershaw's
still out.
No, I thought he was back.
Is he back? I could have sworn he was like pitching recently.
Yeah, no, I think.
But nonetheless, they're going with Dustin May here, who has been out.
Yeah, Kershaw's back
a lot of the season.
Right?
He was.
And he missed a lot of last season as well after a hot start. He's
Tommy John?
Tommy John, and remember his nickname Ginger Guard, in reference to Noah. I don't know if he wants that nickname anymore after what we've seen out of him this season.
Yeah, probably not, dude. But nonetheless, he's against Bumgarner, and I think the Dodgers, after I guess splitting the 6s here yesterday with the Diamondbacks, I'm sure they're pretty tight. 103 win team losing to a 69 win team, basically. And I think Madison Bumgarner is going to get absolutely filleted today, because you look at his last 5 starts, he's given up 18 runs. He's given up 5 home runs. I think, and these aren't even against great teams. This is against the Rockies, or I think one of them was against the Padres, who don't have a lot of offense, the Phillies, the Brewers. These aren't teams with like bang up lineups that they're really tough to get through, especially for someone, you would think like Madison Bumgarner, who's so, I guess good back in the day. But, his ERA after his last 5 starts is 5.01. He only has 6 wins, 15 losses on the season. You would expect at this point the Dodgers to come out swinging heavily. I think it's going to be ugly. I think Bumgarner is going to maybe last 5 innings, certainly give up 5 earned runs. I think the Dodgers are going to roll into a 8-1 victory.
Yeah. the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, just keep rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of a team that's rolling, Houston Astros already clinched, already pretty much have that #1 seed locked up. But facing an old friend in Corey Kluber, Lance McCullers on the mound for the Astros, been injured this year. But Kluber, over the past month plus, has really shown his true colors. Nowhere near that Cy Young Award winner that he once was. So I know it's here we go again, but I do believe the Astros will make minced meat, Tony, of Kluber, chasing him after 3, 5 earned runs. McCullers, maybe 6 innings, 2 earned, 8-4 Astros over the Rays.
All right, my last pick. Right, this is the last one.
Yes.
I was gonna see what the Braves were gonna be doing, but they got some whack starter out there. I guess I'll go. Oh man! All right. Give me the Mariners. I feel like Robbie Ray on the mound for the Mariners. I understand. He's not that great, and I know they lost last night, even with Castillo on the mound 4-0, right? 4-0.
Yeah.
No offense. Like, what are you doing? But I think against James Caprillion, who has not been great, obviously we know that, 4.7 ERA, 3.9 in the season. I think the Mariners tighten up a little bit. I think Robbie Ray will give you a decent outing. I mean, just looking at his last few outings, against the Braves, he got popped. Cleveland, 4-0 victory, 6 innings, no one runs. Cleveland again, 4-0 victory, 7 innings, no one runs. So I feel like he could give you a good start here. I would say he goes 6 innings, 1 earned run, and I would imagine Seattle can pick up some offensive slack here. Julio Rodriguez. I guess I would say a bases clearing double. Late, maybe in the 7th inning. Mariners win this one 4-1.
Yeah, I definitely like them to bounce back. That's for sure. So for my last pick here, I'm going to go with the Twins, who are on the road in Kansas City. Royals, one of the worst teams in the league. Bailey Uber, who had been out, I believe, since May with an injury, had 5 scoreless innings in his return last week, towing the slab tonight. And I just feel like, the Twins, their season's over. However, they are still a lot better than the Royals. So Dylan Lynch, 4-11, 5.15 on the hill for Kansas City. So I'm going to say Uber, could give him 6 innings, 1 earned, 6 strikeouts. And I want to say Gary Sanchez, Tony, 2 home runs into the fountains in Kaufman. And let's say the Twins, 4-1 victors over the Royals. And Gio Urshela, give him 3 hits. He's been heating up. I would imagine they'll be able to maybe trade him this offseason. Sanchez being a free agent. So maybe a New York reunion across town potentially with the New York Mets. Looking for a little more pop out of that catching position.
No. I think they'd rather hire me.
Oh man, I don't know, man. I think he looks like a better option than McCann. Father Time is undefeated, Tony. Father Time, Tony, is very much so undefeated. I think you know that just as well as I do. But what a time in the world of sports right now.
I know. Look at us, guys.
Week 3 beginning tomorrow. NFL, so another Prime Video. Maybe, we'll get a little cleaner performance out of Al Michaels and Herb Street. Obviously, we'll take a look at that one tomorrow. I believe Buffer has another comment.
Wow, you're really on it, huh? Mets will not disappoint tonight. We will sweep the Brewers, something the Yanks only wishes they did to the Brewers over the weekend.
Buffer.
What do you think about that? Honestly,
we have the
real.
Honestly. No, that's all I'm saying. Watch the real Buffer. It just came out, so watch it.
You don't think the Mets could sweep?
You lived it. Live it again.
You don't think the Mets could sweep?
No. Walker sucks. That's why.
So are the Brewers.
Walker's worse.
The Brewers, no way, dude. No
Walker
way.
is terrible.
So
he is terrible.
He's not that terrible, dude.
He is pretty terrible.
Was his last start good?
That's irrelevant.
Why is that irrelevant?
because even a blind squirrel, Tony, finds his nut every once in a while. Okay.
See, that's a ridiculous statement.
No, it's not.
I don't think a blind squirrel does find his nut because he's blind.
Enough.
You know what a blind squirrel becomes? Roadkill, Brian.
Minced meat.
Minced
Tony.
meat, yeah.
One thing, while we have a second here, I just wanted to touch on. We do have the President's Cup starting tomorrow, so that's the international competition. So you got any international player versus the U.S. And obviously the international roster really hit hard by the live defections. They've made it those guys ineligible. So you think about guys like Charles Schwartzel, obviously Cam Smith, Luis Oosthuizen, just to name a couple of people. So they've been hit hard. And this one coming from Quail Hollow Club in North Carolina, where they have the Wells Fargo tournament every year. So we'll just read off who we got. So Trevor Immelman, the former Masters champion, beat Tiger, I think, back in 2006.
Wow.
He now works for CBS. He's Nance's right-hand man after the retirement of Nick Faldo. So he's the captain here. So he's got Hideki Matsuyama, Sungjae Im, Tom Kim, the 20-year-old who's really burst on the scene, the Canadian Corey Connors, Mito Pereira, Adam Scott, Taylor Pendrith, Sebastian Munoz, Siwoo Kim, Cam Davis, Christian Buzenhout, and K.H. Lee. And then on the U.S. side, Patrick Cantley, Sam Burns, Justin Thomas, Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, Tony Finau, Cam Young, Billy Horschel, Colin Morikawa, Kevin Kisner, Jordan Spieth, and Max Homa, and they are captained by Davis Love III. So you look at that and the way this goes, similar to the Ryder Cup, where you have a bunch of different matches each day, whether it's just, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, best ball, alternate shot. They rotate it like that. And you get points for winning. Whoever, hits the certain threshold first wins the competition. So, and it's not always as easy to say, oh, more talent on this side, they win. This is a different type of format that these guys don't compete in any other time other than this or the Ryder Cup. So my question to you, Tony, is do you go with the proverbial chalk pick here of this stacked and overwhelming United States lineup, or do you like, Matsuyama rallying the boys for an upset? I believe the U.S. has won the last 8 President's Cups.
Hey, man, you got to go with the trends. USA, baby.
USA is for sure. And while I do think, Tom Kim is a good story, and we know Sungjae Im and Matsuyama will be riled up, I just think the fact that you look at this U.S. roster and, Cam Young and Kevin Kisner, Billy Horschel, there's some of your worst golfers, and then you have some of the best with JT, Cantley, Scheffler, and Morikawa, Spieth, Homa, who's red hot. I think this could be the biggest blowout in President's Cup history. And so I expect the U.S. to take care of business. But my question to you is, do you think it's somewhat ridiculous? This is nothing to do really. I guess somewhat, because the guys play on the tour, but nothing to do directly with the PGA Tour. Do you think it's somewhat ridiculous that they don't just let everybody be in this, whether you're in live or not? Or do you think that's just kind of the reality of the situation here?
I think it's just like the reality of the situation at this point, dude.
It's a shame.
It's a shame. No, it really is a shame.
Prefer
with a comment here. He says, I'm really interested about your opinion here, Brian. Pitchers of the Yankee variety unravel. Give up 16 runs in the past 2 games.
2 wins, prefer. It's about winning. It's not about stats. Okay. So thanks for trying, bud.
Yeah, but see, it's interesting because, you talk about it's about winning, not about stats. But then again, you think Walker sucks. But what does he have? 12 wins on the season, I think.
How many wins does he have at playoff time? 0, because he's not even going to get in the game.
You don't know that.
I do know that. And then one thing I wanted to add, we did touch on this, and it wasn't announced till later on yesterday. Montas is on the injured list.
How happy are you?
Injection.
Oh,
perfect. They're saying, he should get one. start before the regular season.
No, thank you.
No, just shut them down and let's try it again next year.
What a bust.
It's not happening this year. But I mean, you know what? To make the most of the trade, as pathetic as it is, let's not line them up to blow it in the postseason. I think that's the way to take advantage of this. Yeah. Let's just, we don't want to take a chance. We'll have them next year. Team control.
Yeah.
And I almost want to trade him for pennies on the dollars in the offseason, but I have a feeling, let's see how he looks. Don't you think as well, since they traded 3 pitching prospects?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I guess you kind of have to see how he looks.
It's kind of ironic. After hot starts, Sears and Waldachuk have gotten hammered the last couple times out. So, it's still, you still feel like the A's got the better of the deal. Luis Medina still in the minors. So 3 pitchers, you'd expect one of those guys to end up being quite better than Frankie Montas. Clearly not cut out for the New York market, but plenty of guys to work with. And I'm just excited to see Severino tonight. I think he's going to come out hot. He's had a lot of rehab appearances to get back into the swing of things. And I think that's important. And what a way to start, with Aaron Judge chasing history. You get to face a Pirates lineup. So I think all the stars do align for tonight.
Wow.
But yeah, Tony, other than that, anything else you'd like to bring to the table? Something about a gaming corner, Pokemon Gold back in the day being the best, Goldenrod City. I know you remember it.
I was just going to bring that up actually, because I got a gaming corner, 1:00. We're going live, baby. Obviously, as you alluded to, it is Pokemon. It is Pokemon Arceus on the Switch. It's going to be dope. Brian, I mean, honestly, you surprise me sometimes with your references. Playing Pokemon Gold back in the day. That's dope.
I know you remember Goldenrod.
Of course, dude. Yeah, the train. Yes.
Back and forth, the new, the old.
Yeah. Just reminds you of Stanford going to the Yankee Stadium, the train.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously more fond memories there, Tony. Nothing tops the New York Yankees. And Buffer does not want us to end the episode today.
He does not. He goes, it's all about winning. Mets won 6 games in a row. With your logic, Mets are the best team in baseball right now.
And it's unfortunate, Prefer, that it comes at a time like this where the Atlanta Braves, red hot, haven't been able to make up any ground in reference to their position with the Braves. That's the way we
like it, dude.
And
we're one-upping the Braves.
What goes up, Prefer, must come down. So unfortunately,
does that not apply to the Braves too? Then
unfortunately, you're going to see the Mets fall into second place within the next week. Mark my words, Prefer. So I just can't wait to hear the excuses, because it's always excuses with Prefer. It's always wax poetic. So just watch. Just watch it. It'll be right in front of your face. So let's see it. All right. Tony doesn't even know what to say.
Well, it's just funny because you're the one who waxes poetic. You got excuses for Montas and
there's no excuse. Montas sucks. No, that's not an excuse. Montas sucks.
No, you're trying to make it good. Like, this is a good thing.
Wait, what? What was that?
You said you're trying to make it good. Look at the bright side of the thing. There's no bright side.
There is no bright side with Montas.
But you said you look at the bright side. You said there's one good takeaway.
Yeah, one good takeaway. He's not going to pitch. That's
not good.
There's not anything good about him.
Exactly.
That's a good thing for the team because he sucks.
No good takeaway. Okay, you're making excuses. You're trying to.
No, let's not make her
turn the subject.
Let's not make a reel out of this and talk about turning it around, saying it's an upset Yankee fan. I'm not upset, baby. All right.
You look pretty upset, Brian.
I'm not. I'm pumped for the game. Excuses for Donaldson. Excuses for Hicks. They suck. There's no excuses, Prefer. Unbelievable. It's like you and Tony are texting on the side. I swear to God. Anyway, it really has been a great time this morning, and we appreciate everybody making us a part of your day. We ask you to continue to comment, like, and subscribe, as well as check out the archives on the YouTube page, the summer collection, downtimetv.com, soon to be the fall collection. Watch out for it. But everybody, enjoy the day, enjoy the games. I'll talk to you from the stadium. Let's go, Yankees, and we will see you mañana.
Let's go, Mets.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.
Some footage from that one.
Oh my God.